Hey y'all, what's up? It's Dre. What we got here is the Seven of Diamonds, the Queen of Spades, and the Six of Clubs. So Seven of Diamonds. So this is drawing the lines, creating the lines to draw, and the direction in which you are drawing those lines, better known as how it is that you choose to judge the things that you are paying attention to, that are bringing you things to pay attention to, the things outside of you that you are now presented as something to pay attention to, trying to figure out or drawing the lines and placing judgment on the 120s, the gifts, the 1-2 with some more space that's developed there. Taking that and deciding, judging, drawing the line on how it is you are receiving. It could be communication that's being received. It could be how things are being communicated about, that a feeling is being developed from, that it's more of an internal conversation than an external conversation about what it is that you're paying attention to, how learning about what it is that you're paying attention to, learning about the quality, the star quality, the ability, the charismatic gift, what learning about that, what the charisma about it. For you to pay attention to something, you would think you only pay attention to, ooh, shout out to True Brilliance in that video that I had reposted about accepting, about what it is that you accept. And it was something else that I had watched from her, and I was just like, yes, okay, this is something that, I resonate with. But when it comes to like accepting things, you gotta accept what it is that you pay for. You don't have to accept what you pay for, but if you're paying for it, then you must have accepted that. If you're paying for it, if you're paying your attention, if you are giving your energy to something, that it must be something out of that you've accepted. And one of the main things was just only accepting what it is that you love. And at this point, cross the lines and only accept what it is that is a gift, that is actually a 1-2 that can bring you more space, and not a space that you feel smothered in by a individual's relatability, or individual relatability or personal value. But not only that, but also, being able to have that space where it's actually being filled with things that you wouldn't mind filling it with. So that just bulls and comes up to, bitch, pay attention to what the fuck you actually want to be paying. Don't pay attention to shit that you don't want to pay for. And some people will buy things and you'll be like, people spend their money on the most bullshit of things. Like, why would you pay for that? Why would you pay attention to that type shit? But ultimately, you gotta realize like how much energy you put into something, how much you pay, or the way in which you pay, because everybody's not paying with the same dollar bill. Everybody's form of payment is not the same. That's why you can have a million eyes on you and you still won't care if it's not coming from the exact, source, the exact, where you didn't draw the fucking line. You didn't draw the line. You didn't place judgment, draw the line and be like, bitch, this is it. And this is only it. Okay. But we all know that, things can come a million ways. And if you don't feel fulfilled, you ain't never going to feel fulfilled, because it's about how you perceived what it is that your worth is and how it is that you wanted to be paid and the way in which you want to be paid, whether it's being paid from a certain individual, being paid by certain people, places, things, being paid by you performing a certain act or doing some sort of, ritual with your body and expecting for that to be the source. We all know that, these things can come in all different kind of ways. So do not put a limit. Don't make the 7 into a L and it becomes limitations. And it becomes a limitation. This 7 becomes a L and it becomes a limitation on your ass because you only wanted that gift to come in a certain way because of what you were receiving. What you were receiving was the intellect of it all, the thought of it all, the, making point A to point B actually connect of it all. You get what I'm saying? That was what was the drawing of the lines, and what you're paying attention to. What you're paying attention to is what actually, you're learning from in the same sense. So not only are you receiving, you're learning. So to give and learning, you got to pay attention. You got to pay attention to what the fuck you're learning when you're receiving something. And before you cast judgment too soon and make a bid that you don't want to fucking lie in because you done draw the line and you done made it to where it gotta be this way or it's the fucking highway, bitch. It's that way or the highway, bitch. We are playing Queen Renaissance. What? This is the Queen mix, bitch. And you cannot break who? You cannot break what? A soul. You cannot break a soul around this bitch. You cannot break a soul around this bitch. And that's all that's being paid. That's the only thing that's receiving any sort of what? Learning. Honey, when it comes to giving credit, where credit is given, give that credit to what it is that you're learning. And be open. Be open. Be open. Be open to receiving. Paying attention is like literally, it requires energy, but you still have to decide. You still have to choose what it is that you're paying attention to. So don't ever feel like because a person has your attention that they have you. And don't ever feel like because you have somebody's attention that you have them. Because we're not what we give our attention to. And we know that anytime that we pay attention to what the fuck we've been paying attention to, and we don't want to give that attention no more. So does that mean that we're not giving a piece of ourself attention anymore? Bitch, maybe. Because if you done been there that long that you done develop a bit of a soul essence there, then it may be some, who you gonna call? Bitch, yourself to be that fucking Ghostbuster. You better pull out that Ghostbuster 3000 and get the bustin', bitch. Okay, so 7 plus 6 is 13 plus 12 is 5. Hold on, plus 12. 13, 5, 2, 23, 7. So 7, some Libra, some balancing, some relatability, some cardinal communication, being initiative and initiating a way of intellect, a way of communication. And again, if you cross too many lines and you have a line that's going this way to cut a motherfucker off, and then you got a line going that way to give somebody something to lean on, giving them that bend over ability, bending over, bitch, bending over backwards like Uzi Vert in that fucking I Wanna Rock video, or bending forward like Uzi and the crew in that I Wanna Rock video. Bitch, you either breaking your back, doing some sort of like weird ass, like these your legs and this is where your belly button would be, but then you go backwards for a moment and try to do some fucking Matrix Neo type shit, but just with your body still leaning forward. Bitch, you're gonna fuck yourself up. You're gonna fuck up yourself and the game doing too much. Doing way too much. Or, girl, you bending it over and you got the arch in the knees for that additional bend over support. But honey, how long are you going to be bent over like that? You know, how long are you going to be making that space to support somebody else before, girl? And it may feel good for a moment. This is very much grown, but it may feel good for a moment, you know, bending over like that. But at some point, you won't have to stand up straight again. Okay? But you gonna have to stand up straight, girl, and you may need to bend back the other way just to relieve some of that, girl, sciatic pressure from you being bent over, hunching over like that. And don't let you not be hunching and you wasn't even on some girl, he ain't even spin the block and spin again like bitch, this you spinning the block and spinning again like because you've been at work and now you hunched over because this is the permanent position of your fucking back line measurements. Okay? So 7, Scorpio. I mean, not Scorpio. Libra, who on the other side of them is Scorpio, so that's like some fatal attraction type shit. You know, just where just the people that, you know, y'all so close that you don't even really realize, like, oh damn, we got things in common. Even though we do things uncommonly, there's still some sort of like familiarity that I can get jiggy with. But yeah, Libra, thank goodness the moon has left Aries, because Libra at that time would have been opposing the moon and Chiron. And I was just watching something where a person actually had their moon and Chiron together. So it's like emotionally responded to mistakes. So this could be your own mistakes where you can be like, you know, kind of emotional or kind of just a lot on yourself for your like own mistakes. And then also what other people, what you may not even know is that other people may be like, damn, like this person is so like there when it comes to the mistakes that other motherfuckers make or just the help that other motherfuckers need. Whereas though like that Chiron, you could have all the best advice for other motherfuckers, but the moment that it comes to you, it's just like, damn, why didn't you do that shit then? Like, why didn't you, you know, make that happen? And when you did make that happen, dang, why didn't it turn out that way? Like, what's going on? And at least speaking for myself when it comes to my own Chiron placement, is very much like, and Chiron is still opposing Libra right now. So even if you would want to like, you know, utilize some sort of like Libra aspect, like for me, for example, I got Libra in the 3rd house. So when it comes to like my familiarity amongst myself and amongst like the people that I see on the familiar, the people, places, and things that I see on the familiar, like my schooling, bitch, like when it comes to about like, oh bitch, you got schooled. Okay, what was that though? Like that was my schooling. This is what, you know, I have a familiarity about, bitch, and you've been schooled type shit. Opposite 9th house. Whereas though it's like, you know, the higher learning and the philosophy that can come about from being schooled, because being schooled is just so basic, like, oh, you got schooled, and that's the end of it. But the 9th house is like, now you've been schooled, you've been traveled, You done traveled, motherfucker, so that schooling is just like way more developed, and it had actually been places. It's not just like in your 1, 2, 3 parameter. Like, it done expanded and tripled itself from that. So yeah, Libra, being balanced, being cardinal. Libras don't be giving a fuck about what the fuck be coming out in intellect, because when it comes down to what they put it out for a fucking reason. Fuck the season, bitch. They put it out for a reason, and they initiated that shit. And when they initiated that shit, they did not really require much that come about from it. But, you know, it was something that they were invested into because that Venus aspect. It was something that they cared about. It was something that they loved. It was something that when they were compromising with it, it wasn't too much of a compromise to the point that they wasn't prepared for the risk. Libra being, is it exalted in Saturn? I have a saying that helps me remember how that thing goes, even if it's assaulted or assaulted, bitch. Or exalted or fallen. But like, when I was growing up, it was a saying that like, don't let your Saturday night, don't let your Saturday night, regardless, it was, don't let the shit that you be doing on Saturday night fuck you up from your Sunday morning obligations. It was just really a guilt trip-y way for like the grand aunts of the family to tell motherfuckers like, yeah, you were out clubbing all night, but your ass better be at church in the morning. But even when you think about like churches and religion and the whole Saturn aspect that comes about from that, it helped me like just understand that whole thing with whatever Libra does with Saturn is like, don't let the things that you overindulge in fuck you up from you being organized and having a stability and a foundation for yourself. Like, that was like the Libra, Venus, Saturn type shit, where it's like, yeah, you can indulge, you can have a good ass time, you can, you know, have friends and relate to people and just do the things that you do once you're amongst motherfuckers, but don't allow that aspect of it fuck up your stability, fuck up your reality. Whereas though, not even just talking about church, like if you're out, or even if you meet somebody and you're in a relationship with this person, and then this relationship, from that, your shit has been downhill. Like, girl, you are Brenda. You're Brenda's baby. Like, fuck you being Brenda had a baby. You're Brenda's baby. Like, so we really just want to give you the benefit of the doubt, but motherfucker, you are letting your love and the indulgences, because we know, bitch, you may have never even had that type of love before. We know you've never even had that, you've always desired Mars, but you, like, Mars, but you never had the pleasure, Venus. Like, you had the desire, you had the passion, you had the intent, Mars. But bitch, did you have the value of it? Did you ever have the pleasure of meeting a motherfucker? Like, did you enjoy those? Like, did you get those enjoyments out of it? And even if you did, bitch, did those enjoyments, did those values, the shit that you started valuing, fuck up your stability, fuck up your reality and how it is that you're grounding yourself, fucking up, you know, being able to be looked at as the motherfucker that is in charge, the motherfucker that is not only in charge of themselves, but in charge of how it is that they are moving through life in a charge, whereas though they're not drained, they're not falling apart, they're not, you know, and even if they are falling apart, bitch, you couldn't tell. Shout out to Uriel, bitch, you could not tell. And that's the charge that you need. That's the type of shit you need to have, that regardless of what the fuck is going on around you, you don't let, you know, those things, or even on the opposite, bitch, you don't let your reality, and you don't let the things that you're in charge of, and you don't let all your responsibilities fuck you up from having a pleasure, bitch. For the aunties, maybe y'all asses should have been out on a Saturday night so you had something to contemplate with on a Sunday morning. Y'all didn't have shit to contemplate on Sunday morning. So, girl, you were already in the schedule, routine, and fucking pattern of getting out there on a Sunday. But you didn't even have the compromisations. Girl, you didn't even have the compromise ability to have a Saturday night to double dabble in. Why? Because you were too much on the structure. You were too much in the control. You were too much in the status and how a motherfucker may look at you and how a motherfucker may see you. Fuck that. Fuck that. Shake your ass, show your thong, do what you want. Nothing's wrong. Affirmations from a childhood Drea. Shake your ass, show your thong, do what you want. Nothing's wrong. Nothing is wrong. Okay, so yeah, that was that. That was that, honey. That was that on that. And just while I'm straightening up here, the sun is in Sagittarius and the moon at this point is in Gemini. So that's like dealing with opposites. That's dealing with opposition. That's dealing with compromise, but just on a micro level, just the basic compromise that you have to do when two things are relating to each other outside of just how one planet is more relatable to the other. Look at the two fucking planets that's relating. The sun and goddamn the moon with retrograde ass Mars. So that's like old ass intentions, old ass passions, old ass goddamn things that you would have liked to desire. I mean, things that you have desired from the past, previous desires, previous intentions, that are coming about to remind you, like, hey, bitch, this was a previous intent. And that doesn't mean you gotta get so swept up and be like, yo, you know what? In the 3rd grade, I was a mean-ass actor. Like, bitch, ain't nobody zazuing how I zazued in the 3rd grade. Like, what, nigga? Lion King. I was the lion with the motherfucking kings of acting in the 3rd grade. And now you're like damn near 30 talking about some, yeah, I'm about to start acting again. Okay, bitch, you gotta be open. Alright, if you gonna be dreaming how you motherfucking dreaming, bitch, you better dream big. You better dream big, because motherfuckers is gonna look at that dream like, bitch, I know you lying. I know you fucking lying. I know your old ass is not up here about to audition for nobody's motherfucking Lion King, bitch. Like, I know you're not, but even if it don't come in the same exact way, you gotta be strong enough to believe in your fucking dreams. Because the motherfucker will look at that dream, girl, and will call that shit a dream deferred, bitch. And you only 15 minutes in. You're 15 minutes in. How the fuck your dream get deferred that fast? How the fuck did your dream get deferred that fast, bitch? You want to know why? You want to know why? Because you were looking outside, wondering what a motherfucker thought about what the fuck you had going on. And the moment that you went outside, bitch, it got cold. It got cold. And not only, bitch, was it cold, bitch, it was frostbite to the point your feelings then got hurt. So stop allowing a motherfucker to put their 2 cents into what the fuck you got going on. Because the moment their 2 cents ain't cashing the way you wanted to cash, girl, don't nobody give a fuck about them $3 if that $3 can't come out that motherfucking ATM without the help of another a couple other motherfuckers. Girl, that $3 will be there and have to get swiped before it be able to actually be coming out and produced out into the motherfucking world if it did not have the support of 8 other motherfuckers, okay? At least to get to the 10. And bitch, you better be at your home banking system. Because if not, girl, make that a 20 plus 3 other motherfuckers. Plus 3 other motherfuckers. Because there's going to be a fee. They're going to tax you. They're going to tax you. Okay, so just know, like, what it is that you getting into, what it is that you dibbly and dabbling with, so you don't be out here playing boo-boo, not even boo-boo the fool. It's Vicky the villain. It's Vlad the villain. It's Vicky and Vlad the villain. Bitch, for the girls. Goodbye.